all the way sure. Hold on, let me check on a few things. Oh yeah, that wasn't right. That wasn't right. That wasn't right. Hold on. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. We all right? How y'all feeling, man? Urban Therapy with Sun 752. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every Sunday. We'll get into that later. Listen, today we are talking about how far will you go to prove it. So we're kind of talking about your integrity. We're kind of talking about, your reputation, whatever. You know how there are a lot of things that you may feel it necessary to prove throughout your life. Maybe when you were younger, certain things were necessary for you to prove in order to establish yourself in one way. And maybe when you got older, certain things were necessary for you to prove that didn't have anything to do with when you were younger, because your priorities might have changed, your social circle might have changed, your education level might have changed, your knowledge base may have changed. A whole lot of things may have changed. But when you say when asked, how far will you go to prove something? You could be asked to prove your love, prove your dedication. You could be in a gang or something. Prove your loyalty. Well, loyalty could be in a family. It could be with a lover. It could be with a club, organization, a company, a business, or however it goes. So we're going to go deep. I'll be calling myself going deep with some things. Y'all might be like, that wasn't really all that deep, son. You know what I mean? Like, you all right, but stop trying to act like, just stop acting like, you know what I mean? But anyway, we're going to get into it. So what up, y'all? Grown women don't try me. What's going on? What's going on, man? How you doing? Good to see you always. Mi favorita. Grown women don't try me. And T Carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly to your site. And Emily Dunlap is it? Oh, hold on. Is her name? Oh, it's not Emily. I mean, Brown Eyes. Dunlap is in the house. Wow, she's about to turn it out. What's good? And Carla. Yeah, Carla, you ever wonder where I got that? Why I call you your name like that? I used to watch Cheers back in the day, the show Cheers. And one episode, the character Carla, Danny DeVito's wife, she had like one of her foreign family members come stay with her, or it was a guest on the show. And that's how she kept saying her name, Carla. And that shit always stuck in my mind. So as soon as I saw your name, or when I see your name, it always triggers that shit. Carla. Let's get it popping. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill, what's good? upon y'all something very real to me. Yo, check up on your people. If you spend any amount of time online and you interact with people that you may know or that you may not know, like face to face in person, if you haven't seen them online in a while, check on them if you can remember to. Because, yo, when I do these birthday shouts every day, I realize I lost a lot of people. Like, a school friend of mine from 7th grade that I interacted with a lot on Facebook. I hadn't seen her online for a while. And, you know, people take breaks and stuff like that, so it didn't seem like a big deal. She's been in a coma since like January 2024. I was like, and the reason that I found that out is because somebody's birthday today, who I was giving a birthday shout out to, is mutual friends with her because we all went to school together. And when I went to her page, I saw my people's Tanya Newman, and people was like, yo, I can't wait to hear you talk and sing again. And I was like, oh shit. In a way, I was kind of relieved because at least she wasn't gone. But you know, you scroll down the timeline and all that shit, and it seemed like the last time she put up a post was January of 24. And by February of 24, they was already saying, you know, we praying for you, we pulling for you, blah, 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 blah. So she's still here with us right now. I don't know how long you can be in a comatose state. Well, I've known people that was like that for years, but it didn't end well. So you check up on your people, man. Make sure that they're good. If you haven't heard from them in a while, then that's online and offline. You know, somebody like me who write crazy shit on his page all the time. Sometimes people block me and shit like that. So I'm thinking like maybe they just say, you know what, I've had it. But it ain't always like that. Some people like my crazy shit. Check on your people though. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 1:30 p.m. till around 3:30-ish. And the reason that we say 3:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the rrrr. And if you can't say Omar with the rrrr, but then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm feeling like a real man should. And I hope y'all feel like real men and women should also. So today we're talking about how far you will go to prove it. How far you will go to prove it. How far will you go to prove that you're not lying? How far will you go to prove that you are worthy of a job, a position, status? How far will you go to prove that you did something, came from something, are on your way to be something, already got it going on your way to being fly, whatever. You know, how far we will go in order to validate ourselves. And I guess we have to talk a little bit about validation, or maybe a lot about it. It says a lot about us. And sometimes just saying that you have to prove yourself, or that you'll go this length or this way to prove something, sometimes that discourages us from even trying, because we be looking at like, who are you? Who is you to be telling me that I gotta prove to you that I'm that boy? Who are you to be telling me that I'm not that boy? What I gotta do to prove it to you? What am I going to get? And that's when people get into their joint like, they ain't paying none of my bills. They ain't paying none of my bills. They ain't paying none of my bills. I don't give about them. That's real. They ain't paying none of my bills. Why should I have to show them niggas that I'm real? I said, they ain't paying none of my bills. They paid your Netflix, so the truth you must kick. They paid your Hulu, so get on that stage and show them how you do. They paid your Peacock. Yo, get on that shit and show them you got it on lock. They paid your phone bill. That's a couple of dollars. So they paid your phone bill? I'ma prove it to them too. I'ma show them what I do. We gonna be like this. Ooh. Yo, I ain't gotta tell you nothing. If y'all really think that I'm lying and fronting, well, fuck all y'all. Yeah, you and your mom. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, your mom. I'm tired of all y'all. I'm a ball till I fall, and I ain't making calls. I ain't seen you in a while, and I'm doing better than you. Fuck you and your child. Yeah, I ain't proving nothing to y'all. You see my shit. Y'all see I'm stunting for y'all. I'm tired of all y'all. You, and you, and you. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, y'all. How far you will go to prove it. How far you will go to prove it. Prove what? When was the last time you got into a situation where you had to prove that you were worthy of something? Now, for a lot of y'all, it could have been a job. You know what I mean? You're at your job, you were vying for this position, and people were saying, I don't know if you're ready yet. You've been on a job, I don't know, 5-10 years or whatever, and they telling you you're not ready for upper management or management. You're not ready to take the next step. You know what I mean? You need to take the next step. Well, at a job, that is one of those places, and definitely a situation where you may have had to prove that you were worthy of making some more money, grabbing some more power. Hey, it's worth it in the long run, but that's not always where the proving stops. For some people, they prove that they were worthy or eligible or qualified to get a job, but then they go on proving that it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a one-off. It's like when you win the first term as president of the United States, but you don't get validated till you win the second term, till you get reelected, because they can wipe all the accomplishments off of your first term if you don't get a second term. It's just an example, but it's one that's a real thing. So you probably have worked with somebody on one of the jobs that you've had that always walked around with a chip on their shoulder. Now, there's the good chip on their shoulder, and then there's the bad, irritating, go ahead with that bullshit chip on the shoulder. You know what I'm talking about. So the insecurity that people can feel can have them, doing somersaults, backflips, the cartwheels, the leg stretches, jumping jacks, push-ups. Y'all can't see me? Oh, y'all can see me. Yeah, all of that shit trying to prove that they got something on their own merit. And we've seen this. We've seen this. It could have happened when you was in school. You know, maybe everybody thought that you was smart, but they didn't think that you was really as smart as you said as you was because you wasn't really getting the grades that you deserved because you was brown-nosed in the teacher or whatever. And that's the only reason that they gave you a A. See, you said a A. It's supposed to be an A. And that's how we know. That's how we know you bribed and brown-nosed the English teacher. It's not a A, it's an A. You don't even know how to talk. You bad diction, grammar having ass. So let's start this. What's up, y'all? Scud. Johnny West, what's good? Terry Hawkins holding it down for the D all day, every day. 365, 12 months a year, 52 weeks. Good to see you, without a doubt. And happy belated birthday again. Yeah, we said it when you was here. We said it the day after. We gonna say it again. Leo gang all day. What you talking about? It's the reason for the season. And I can't read this person's name or their comment, but I believe that's Russian or something like that. And I say that because I can't read a word of it, not even a letter. Brother from another mother, Norris Hill. So Johnny West says, I wasn't sure you had legs. Hey, good for you. I got legs. What you mean? You thought I was standing on stilts? You thought I had two prosthetics? What you mean I got legs? You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I got more legs now than I ever had. Been doing some squats, running in place and shit like that. I'm actually standing strong. Stronger than I ever been. You know what I mean? I was always the upper body boy. You know what I mean? They used to call me, you know, years ago, they called me a Mickey Mouse popsicle. Remember, you know, the good humor truck. They had the Mickey Mouse popsicle. So they had the one little stick, and the Mickey Mouse popsicle was all big. You know what I mean? That's what they used. Yeah, that's what they used to call me. But not now. Oh, Johnny West, you say you always sitting, but I stand every show in the beginning. That's what it is. You only see me when I'm sitting down because it's later on in the show. I stand up at the beginning of every show. And I actually did that on purpose so motherfuckers, you know, don't think I'm just a sit down comic or something like that. You know what I mean? Let y'all know. I only stand 10, I'm 5'10", so don't be thinking like I'm super tall, you know what I mean? Like, no, average height, definitely average height, but yeah. But I ain't like 5'6" or nothing like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, 5'6" is only 4 inches smaller than 5'10", but that 4 inches, there could be a difference between a big dick and so anyway, he says, good for you. I could do all the sports in the world. My legs just get more get more defined. I'm built like a pigeon. No, well, you know what? Trust me, they can grow, because I thought the same thing. Like, yeah, they would get muscular, and my legs have always been strong. But yeah, now I got a little bit of definition. Like, look, I'm out here. I'm out here. Look, I even got a calf. I never had a calf before. Like, I got a calf. Nigga, a calf. I got a calf. And look. You see, the leg is out here. I ain't got to hold it up. That's from the leg lifts. See? How far will you go to prove it? See? You see what I just did? You see what I just did? How far will you go to prove it? Fuck it. Sometimes it's worth it, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's worth it for the audience that you you want to prove something to, and sometimes it's not. It's easy, especially online. Especially online. Y'all know I get on people online all the time, even though we are online. But I know how people start fronting about their character and their feelings when it's online. Everybody act like they don't have no feelings when it's online. Everything is cut and dry. Like, nah, I ain't never fucking with such and such again. And I would never do this, that, and the third. Yeah, life happens in real time and we have to make decisions in real time. So for me to say, for me to try and say that, well, only people that are important to me are the people who support me and the people who I love and the people who love me. It sounds good. It sounds good, but those same people may not be really putting enough money in my pocket for me to live. So I may have to prove myself to somebody else. Whether it's for monetary gain, I might need a roof over my head, a car to drive, some good sneaks on my feet. Because I don't know about y'all, but I need that. I gotta have good sneaks on my feet. I can't. Grown women don't try. She gotta have it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't play. You know what I'm saying? You see her sneaker collection? Yeah, I mean, she got the Nike app on her phone. She be using that shit. You know, she'll be like, yo, oh, check these joints out. You like these? Yeah, she don't play. She don't play. Nike Airs. Yeah, Nike Airs. So I'm just. So I'm saying all that to say that, yeah, you may not prove everything or feel the need to prove everything to everybody at the same time, because everybody is not as important to you as some people are. So of course you have your priority list. Like, for these cats over here can get it. These cats over here is shitted, So, but when you think about how far you will go to prove something, like, one of the most insulting things that some adults can say to other adults is like, sort of like question the way you raise your children. People always have opinions about how you raise your kids, and of course you might be thinking that, well, but my kids are good kids, and and we get along very well, and I don't have a lot of problems with them. I have the regular hiccups like anybody, including the Brady Bunch, has, but for the most part, my kids are in good standing. So for somebody to come along and be like, you just want to be a friend to your kids, or you don't do this, that, and the third, or you're not sometimes some people will go to great lengths to show you that the way that they parent is a good thing. And sometimes there are situations where you have to do it. Like, if somebody either told the truth on you or lied on you and said that you were abusive or neglectful of your children, and then the state gets involved, and here comes CPS, and they want to interview your kids, and they don't want to interview them in the crib. They want to interview them off site, and next thing you know, they don't bring them back home. You know what I mean? So your kids are in foster care. Now whether you want to prove it or not, or whether you like it or not, now you have to prove that you are a sufficient parent and a decent enough parent to be able to have custody of your children. So that's a situation where even though you may really resent somebody putting you in a position to have to go there, you're there. And anybody who loves their children is going to go to whatever lengths to make sure that they get them back, and that their kids are safe and secure and in good standing. So, yeah, how far will you go? Now, we've seen different levels of this shit. I'm sure you have. Anybody over the age of 30 has probably seen this shit. Now, you've seen parents who won't go to great lengths to make sure that their kids are good. Or maybe they have a different view of what's good and what's not. Now, hold on. what is it, Jodicus Qual, or whatever your name is. You know what I mean? You just hold on a second. Since I gotta be grandpa, just make sure you show a little respect. That's all. I'm gonna keep my eye on you. You fuck around, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you fuck around, you gonna find out. I don't normally say that, but fuck it. You know, I stopped saying it when it got real. You know, once they started saying that shit on TV, I was like, okay. I tell you, hip hop can't keep nothing, can they? The hip hop community can't keep nothing for themselves. Nothing. But yeah, so we've seen different levels of this shit, whereas some parents will do anything to make sure that their kids are provided for. And then we've seen some parents that are like, oh, they got enough. I made it without. They don't need this. They don't need, you know, so you gotta keep our eye on the ball, so to speak. But there are some things, some situations that present themselves that may be worthy of you going all out to prove that it is what it is. Now we have characters like the president of the United States that would bend over backwards to prove that he's telling the truth about something that he's outright lying about. We have a president of the United States that will go to any length to prove that he's telling the truth about a situation that he's outright lying about. So this is one of the reasons why the truth, let's say fact and fiction sometimes become such blurred lines with some people. And people lose faith like it ain't nothing because of people like that, people in leadership positions that are going, you know, that will go to any length to prove that they shouldn't be in trouble, even though they consistently put themselves in trouble. Johnny West says, if you do it, you prove it. That's all there is to it. Bars, son. Bizarres. T. Carey, right? Says, chat, I'm driving, but hey, y'all, hey. I see you. I'll see you. But yeah. There might be, you know, might be times when you have to prove that you're a good parent. There might be times when you have to prove that you're a good husband, a good wife, a good girlfriend, a good boyfriend, a good friend. Have you ever had to prove that you are a good friend? Now, that's a slippery slope, very subjective, because proving that you're a good friend means what? What does it mean? Because people use and abuse friends. They overuse words like friendship. They misplace and displace, you know, certain terms, parameters, barriers. So proving that you're a good friend might be worth it for some friends, whereas to others it might not be. Like people who have taken care of you, who have looked out for you, who have proven that they are good, that they are a good friend to you. It might be very important for you to prove to them that you will reciprocate. Like, I'm not going to let this just be a one-sided thing. You know what I mean? You helped me out of a jam. You provided support for me when I was down. You inspired me when I was feeling low. You know, you was Johnny on the spot when I needed a ride. When I needed a ride to get there and I ain't have one, you drove me. And when I couldn't get back, you came and got me and returned me to safety. That's a good friend. So if somebody has done things like that for you, you probably want to prove to them that, yo, I would do the same for you. And that's a popular declaration when it comes to friendship. I did it for him because I know he would have done it for me. He would have done it for me, man. You know what I mean? Like, he would have done it for me. So I had to do it for him. Yeah, I was tired. I was hurt. I had other shit that I had to do. But in the grand scheme of things, I had to go and do it because he would have done it for me. He has done it for me, or she has done it for me. I had to represent for him. I couldn't let him go out like that. And it was a situation that could have got worse if I stalled on it. So I had to make moves. My brother from another mother, Norris H, says, I've said it before and I'll say it again, that there are the people. Oh, that these are the people that we call friends. Friends. But real shit. People throw around the word friendship or friends like it ain't nothing. Because, for some people, being being a friend means being like. How many of y'all have been through this? Somebody telling you, a friend of yours is telling you that in order for y'all to be friends, you need to contact them every day. You need to let them know what's going on in your life. You know what I mean? You got to be super active. You checking in like it's your girl. Why I got to do that? You just a friend. Why I got to do that? Friends find out that you have things going on that you haven't told them about. I mean, you might not have thought about it, or it might not be none of their business. Just because somebody's a friend of yours, that doesn't mean that all of your business is their business. But you may have had a friend at one point that tried to tell you, no, you got to tell me everything. I tell you everything. Well, if you tell me everything, and based on what you have told me, then you ain't got nothing going on. So I guess telling me everything is easy. But I ain't the type of person that tells everything about myself. I'm a Cancer. I'm sorry, a Pisces. Or a Scorpio. So, yeah. So a friend should recognize that, right? A friend should recognize that you tell people based on what your comfort level is, and when it's their business. But you know how you get yourself in a jam, and you have to tell the details of some shit that you otherwise wouldn't have told. Yeah, or some real shit, yo. Or some real shit. I had this girlfriend. We wasn't exactly girlfriend and boyfriend, but we were girlfriend and boyfriend enough. She lived in the projects. This chick tried to tell me that she was getting evicted, but didn't want to admit that she wasn't paying the rent. I was a landlord for 17 years. She lived in the projects. And I was like, you know how long it take? You know what the process is to get somebody out of the projects? Do anybody in here know what the process is to get somebody into the projects? It ain't easy. You don't just go down and fill out an application for public housing and get in. You almost have to prove that you ain't got no money. Real shit. You damn near gotta prove, like, I'm when I say I'm broke, I'm not lying. Why you got that gold chain around your neck? Man, that was a gift. Oh, you got somebody giving you gifts? Nah, I'm saying I found it. You found what? I found the chain. All right. Fill out the application. We get back to you in like 3 or 4 years. It take a while. To Section 8 is public housing. Oh, what they call subsidized. It's public housing, yo. It's not public housing because a real landlord who owns the house, owns the property, is renting to you, but he already got the guaranteed money from Section 8. And you pay whatever percentage it is that needs to be supplemented after the state pays their part. So yeah, anyway, the chick was trying to, she was getting evicted from the projects, but she tried like hell not to tell me that she wasn't paying the rent. I'm like, there's only one way you get evicted, especially from the projects. Now, if she was getting put out of the projects not because of the rent, but because the apartment or the unit itself was under somebody else's name, because people used to do this in the projects all the time. Their grandmother lived in the projects. They lived with their grandma, and my mom died. My mom died, and they just kept paying the rent or not. And you know what I mean? And they got themselves into a situation where they found out that my mom passed, and now y'all got to get out. We'll fill out another application to get another place. You ain't gonna be in that place though. The jig is up. But nonetheless, you might have a friend that don't, or you may have been in a situation where you really didn't want to share the details of how things came to be. But in order for you to get help with this situation that you need help with, you had to share some shit. I need you to help me move a body. Don't worry about who killed them. I just need you to help me move it. Please. I mean, I need you to wear. Listen, I need you to wear something plastic and bring, and if you have like a really big area a rug or some shit that you know big enough to wrap a body up, approximately 185 pounds, that would be a good thing. And if you have a truck. Anyway, Kim's Whims, what's good? And Nashidi Ashik. Can you say something about racism rising in India? Okay, I'll do that if you can say something about racism staying high in the United States. I'll do it. All right, hold on. Carla says, I lived in projects in Jersey and Philly. You right, son. Look, this ain't hard. This ain't hard. You know what I mean? You know, in the projects, either you on welfare or you can still get in public housing, but the rent that you pay is going to be based off your income. So like my grandmother lived in the projects in Milwaukee. The projects in Milwaukee, like they different than like down here. She had a basement. Right hand to God. I thought she lived in, I didn't know what the fuck. A basement? My grandmother's and all of the apartments in West Lawn projects in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, they had basements in the project apartments and a second floor. She had a whole kitchen, a whole living room, 2 bedrooms on the second floor, and a basement. So my cousin stayed with my grandmother, and he stayed in the basement. Yeah. My grandmother passed. She lived there from like 77 or 78 to the day she passed, which was in December of 2002, at 81 years old. So And she had a ramp because she had a scooter that she used to call her car that she used to, Anyway, so, she had to give up the apartment when she passed, which wasn't a problem for us or whatever. But, it wasn't easy for my grandmother to get in the projects, or what you might call it. But yeah, North Hill says subsidized sounds so much better. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Oh, shit. Johnny West says, whatever happened to that throwback music show? You mean last Friday? Wasn't you here? Wasn't you here, son? Wasn't you here? We do music every Friday night. Carla says, you can work, but it will still be based on your income. At that time, I wasn't making much and was a single parent. Oh, my bad. That's why I brought up my grandmother, because she wasn't on welfare, but she did receive my grandfather's pension, Social Security, and all of that. So she was on a fixed income. So her rent was cheap, but when they found out that my uncle was living with my grandma, they was like, yo, we checked his status, and I don't care if he on crack. He make enough money. So they was paying an exorbitant amount living up in West Lawn. Cheer. So, it was what it was. So eventually, it got to the point where my uncle had to find his own place. Like, it was too expensive living up in here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much they was paying, but I know it was cheaper for him to get the fuck on. May he rest in peace too. He passed last year. Grown woman, don't try me saying, now how I get in. How I get in it. I'm just saying. You all late. I mentioned you a long time ago. I mentioned you a long time ago. James Wim says, I remember trying to get into the apartments my cousin lived in when we were young mothers. I was denied because, in their opinion, I made too much money. I never understood that, but whatever. Hey, like I said, people think it's sweet. It ain't sweet getting into public housing. They know motherfuckers is dying to, not have to pay a lot of money. But you also got to think, man, all projects ain't the same. So you could be fighting to get into a situation that could be crime-ridden, underserved, undereducated, and sometimes fatal. Just real shit. I've spent enough time in the projects. I never lived in the projects, but I never lived in the projects, but I do get invited to West Lawn Day every year. My Milwaukee people swear. Why you lying saying that you from Philly when you really from Milwaukee and you moved to Philly? I'm like, no, I was born in Philly. I was raised in Philly. Well, why you know all the Milwaukee streets? Because I came to Milwaukee every year as a child. And then when I became an adult, I started coming kind of frequently. Whatever. I've been told this. Like, people just, and I get invited to West Lawn Day every year. They renovated West Lawn. But anyway, how far will you go to prove it? Yeah, if you want to get subsidized housing, you're going to have to go far. Yeah, but while we on this subject, how far will you go to prove it? People be trying to get SSI. People be trying to get SSD. That Social Security money be making people feel good. It ain't funny. With the lens that people will go through acting like they crazy as hell and handicapped too. trying to get that check. Well, it's gonna take a couple of years, so protect your neck. They gonna make sure they verify, so you gonna be acting like a real crazy guy. Well, by the time you get that check signed, you's crazy as a motherfucker, and they find that you fill all the qualifications. Yo, that shit is crazy. It's like a lot of frustration when you're just trying to find a place to live, get comfortable, and have enough money to give to your people when they coming up and trying to get fly, trying to make sure that you don't have to wonder why am I struggling? Yo, because sometimes you just gotta struggle, get up and snuggle. Got my little boo, yeah, she's struggling too, but when I see it, she's so cute, I give her a hug too. All right. Okay, yeah. But yeah, now, which one of y'all want to lie? Which one of y'all want to tell that lie like y'all don't know nobody who acted crazy for years trying to get an SSI check? You ain't gonna tell me that it's only me. You ain't gonna tell me that shit. You ain't gonna tell me that shit. You know why you ain't gonna tell me that shit? I'm gonna tell you why. Matter of fact, I made a video about y'all. I made a video about that shit. It was called "Acting Crazy to Get an SSI Check." Hold on, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of it. It did good too. It got good views. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Man, come on, man. Okay. There you go. Faking like you're crazy. Faking like you're crazy to get an SSI check. All right, so check it out. This is how the video started. Now, if they bang me for my own goddamn video, we gonna have a problem. Cause it starts off kind of funny, so y'all might dig this.
This is daily go get him as a number 335. Listen, check this out. The reason I did that is because that goes in perfect line with what we're gonna be talking about today. People faking like they crazy so they can get an SSI check. That's how it be going. I mean, when you really think about it, man, listen. Our people are in such a state of disarray that we will do anything in order to get a free check. That's whether we
hold on, I'm gonna get to the end because the funny part is at the end. Hold on.
We have a little job under the table.
Come on,
whether
man.
we just got
What is wrong with this shit? Come on, let's go.
That we try to get a mental disability check, and if it's enough to keep the bills paid, let's get some food stamps or something. I know plenty of people who've done this craziness. Now it seems like a foolish thing to do.
All right.
September 5th, 10 a.m. Rittenhouse Street, Wichita Avenue. This is from a burn on. This gonna be a real burn. I'm telling you, you're going hard this Saturday. So this is not for beginners. You know what I'm saying? But y'all live through it. But I bet you one thing. When we get no SSI check out of this, I holler at y'all.
So anyway, by the way, that it did good views. Hold on. 11,000. It did 11,000. It was respectable. But yeah, I knew a lot of people listen, y'all gotta understand. I damn near lived in North Philly all my life. I was born and raised in Germantown, but I was being dragged down North Philly all the time. I went to school in North Philly. My friends was in North Philly. Family like crazy all in North Philly, whatever. So, all of the negative things that people say about North Philly always associated with crime and drugs, despair, and poverty. Well, all of that shit is true. But they don't never talk about the good people that came from North Philly, the people who scratched, scraped, grinded, clawed their way up and out of the hood and still came back and represented. People like Grown Woman Don't Try, and me. Me, yep, and her, and me, and her, and me, and her. What up, Marissa Allberg? What's good? And Michael Lawyer? Oh, shit, fuck. This guy said this guy is too gay for North Philly. Well, let me see. Gay. It's funny how that's the first thing that you said coming on this live. So a lot of gay people do a lot of things for attention. And it looks like that might be what you're doing too. So let's put it this way. I don't know what you look like, but I can tell that you probably have some little sugar in your tank. I've always got bitches my whole life. But I don't have to prove that to you. You could clearly see it because I'm handsome. I'm fly. You have a green avatar. I don't know what the fuck you look like, but I can tell you a bitch. Yeah, I can tell you a bitch. Plus, you came here to see me, and you still here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you came here to see me. There was other people here when you got here. There'll be people here when you gone. So you can eat a dick, and matter of fact, you can eat a dick and still hang around. I don't know if the mods. I mean, if you get too out of pocket, they. Oh damn. Oh well, never mind. Never mind. But anyway, I knew so many people that acted like they were crazy in order to get an SSI check. And one thing I noticed that was consistent about it, they may have been acting crazy when they first tried to get that SSI check, but by the time they actually got signed off on it and started getting disbursements, they was crazy for real. Cause they make you go to them doctors and all of that shit, and it ain't sweet like that. It ain't like you can just come in there like, or just start talking to yourself like, yeah, I don't know. It might be faster for you to just commit a crime and go to jail, get some counseling and whatever, and tell them that you've been depressed and thinking about killing yourself. That might actually get you subsidized housing faster than acting like you crazy. So it be how it be. It be how it be. All right, so okay. Hold. Grown Woman says, "Oh, I know a few." Laughing my ass off, and some got it too. Yeah, they did, but they wasn't always right. By the time they got that check, it was like, well, we knew he was a little, or she was a little bit touched, but sheesh, yeah. Thanks, Marissa. Appreciate you. Kim Williams says, that's just so lazy to want to do some dumb stuff to get free money. That's so little. Can't even cover needs. It's awful for the people who have to rely on that little bit of money. Well, they looked at it like, I'm not working anyway, so I might as well get this check in the interim. I'm not working anyway, so I might as well go ahead and get this check. Grown Woman Don't Try said, don't sleep on North Philly. Shit, there was times I wouldn't even sleep in North Philly at some people's cribs. I've been a lot of cribs. And some of the cribs I owned, and I wouldn't sleep in them cribs. Because, they turned the cribs into a crack house. And I don't care what nobody say. Grown woman, don't try me. One thing that I pledged never to do in as many crack houses as I've been inside of, and yes, there have been a lot, I said I will never do 3 things. I will never sell drugs in a crack house. I will never buy drugs out of a crack house, and I will never sleep in a crack house. And guess what? I kept my word. I'm not sleeping here. Y'all niggas is dirty. Y'all niggas dirty, son. Yeah, I mean, crack.
You have a call from.
Hello? Hello? Welcome to Urban Therapy with Sun Show.
I was not ready for that.
I said, hello? How's it going?
Really. Good afternoon.
So what's going on? What's going on? What's on your mind this afternoon?
I want to say how you doing, but I can already tell. I wanted to jump in on this topic, of course, because you forgot about. So first, let me say, my baby struggles every day. Some days are good, some days are bad, and there have been a few people who tell him, like, you probably need to go sign up for something to get some assistance. And of course, his pride is not going to let him. And not just pride, but he just comes from a lot of people who work, so he just can't imagine himself not working to get money.
I feel him on that. I know.
And even now, he started a new job, and the tears of a mother, because it is a dangerous ass job. But he is determined, I can do this. And every day I'm just like, he's been there a week now, and every day I'm just like, I don't know. Like, it's the type of job, one slip and he could die immediately. Because he's working with a cement truck. If he's not focused and doesn't turn the dial right, the cement could rush out and crush him in any building nearby. So with all that he's dealing with, and I definitely want him to always work rather than sit and get any kind of assistance. But God, if right now he could, I would prefer that. So in any case, and I say that to say, for the trash ass people who are like, I'm just gonna go get this check, who have no problem, and clearly my kid has one, but he is determined to just live life as he always has. So, but you cannot leave out these trifling ass parents, and I use the term loosely, who instead of working would prefer to fill their children full of synthetic medications just so they can get a check. I hate those people with all of my heart. I used to live in the same complex with one like that. She has so many children, and it was she and their father all lived together in this apartment. They were never married or anything like that, so she can continue to get assistance and try to get child support, which it's amazing how the system works for some and not for others. But the more children she started to have, she started to put each one on Ritalin so she could collect a check for them. I wanted to fight her.
Yo, that's bad money.
I wanted to fight them all the time. Every breath I breathe, I would just think, one day I'm just gonna spaz out on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate those people even more than these lazy ones because I think that's the ultimate form of laziness or trifling or whatever you want to call it. So we can't leave those people out either.
That's true, but you're talking about the length that somebody would go in order to get some free money, or should I say, how far they go, or the length that they will go in order to prove that they are eligible for some free money. But when you think about, I know we could talk all day about people who that's just trying to get over whatever. But sometimes I think we don't take enough time to think about the things that rich people do and the lengths that they will go to prove that people who are marginalized or who don't make a lot of money deserve not to have anything in life, not even happiness.
Well, we got one of those fools running the country. You see all that he's doing. He's not just trying to take from. He's trying to take from everybody on the planet.
I'm just saying. Yeah. So when I see somebody lying to get an SSI check or lying to get a motherfucking Section 8 crib or whatever, I don't really be mad at them because I'm like, that money is there. They ain't gonna give it to nobody. They ain't gonna borrow the money from somewhere in order to give it to you. And trust me, if you are eligible to have what's out there, you're going to get it. The same way that they might have had to lie to have gotten it, somebody actually had the real qualifications to get it. So, those of you who work, are upwardly mobile, who have a steady income, hoping that your rent will be lower, prices of things will be lower. The truth of the matter is we make some, but we need to make more in order for us to have more. You ain't getting no Section 8 crib.
I support that. I support the mother or the father who has always worked and something happened with their job or whatever, and they have to get it. I support that because they have put into this. I'm talking these trifling ass people who ain't put shit on shit into shit, and they just want to hand out. Fuck them people. And I know people like that who have never worked, who have never done anything, but they always are getting all the benefits of what everybody else has put in. I don't knock. Like, I have a cousin who's always received some kind of assistance, but this helper has worked since she was 15 years old. I cannot be mad at her because she has children and the fathers, some people get a bad picker, whatever happens, and she has children she's trying to provide for, and she still works now, and she works the kind of job that the majority of us are not going to do. However, it's never enough to cover what she needs. And people say she's living above her means. She's not living above her means. She's providing the best she can and what her children deserve. She never wants her children to see the struggle she's seen. She wants her children to have a little better. Now, I'm not saying they living on the hog and they having crab legs and lobster to eat every day. But what I'm saying is she does want to afford her children some of the nicer things in life because it's hard enough for them. So if she wants to put aside for them to go on a vacation to Disney World once every 3 years, then okay, I'm good for that. Mm-hmm. So if she has to get assistance for the day-to-day, I don't knock it. But for like this bitch who lived in an apartment complex I lived in, here I am, a mom struggling myself, trying to make ends meet. And this helper and the nigga she's laid up with and keep popping out babies, neither one of these bitches have ever had jobs. But they get all the assistance. Fuck them kind of people.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Now, see, hold on. I think you're being a little insensitive. You say that she just having a bunch of kids and ain't working. I say that she is a successful stay-at-home mom.
You can call it what you want.
And I think, because all stay-at-home moms ain't rich. All stay-at-home moms don't have husbands. all stay-at-home moms have a particular qualification that it seems to me that she has not had to do a lot to fulfill. She's a mom and she's home. And here you are demonizing, tearing down. See, black people always tearing each other down. Black people always tearing each other down. You need to stop tearing each other down. But what's the real shit? What's the real shit? Like, my only thing is this. I don't mind nobody scamming the government. I'm sorry, I don't. They do it to you. I don't mind it being done to them. But I do mind us scamming each other. Now, don't have me giving you money. Don't have me providing for you. Don't be using your kids to prey on my sympathies and all of that kind of shit. Do that shit to the state because they got the money. And the only reason I even say it like that is because I do not believe that just because somebody who didn't deserve the money got money, somebody who really needed the money didn't get it, because it don't work that way. You know what I mean? They have a certain poverty line. They have a certain income bracket that you must fall into in order to be eligible. Now, you know, you work in fast food or some shit like that. If you might get 40 hours, and depending on where you work in fast food, you might be getting close to $15 an hour, which is going to make you ineligible. It makes you ineligible for public assistance, but it also makes you ineligible to probably be able to afford decent housing. So you're kind of like in the synapse, or you're in the bad part. You're sort of like the bad part of town, but between poverty, even though you might be feeling impoverished, and actually having a workable income. So what needs to be done in situations like that is they need to either raise the income level for the qualifications for welfare programs, or we all got to get up off our ass and start hustling. Now, I mean, if you're a black woman and you don't know how to hustle, I mean, what can I say? You mean to tell me you don't know how to sell? You got the food stamps and you don't know how to sell no dinners? You mean to tell me you got two working hands, you don't know how to braid no hair?
Listen, we in a different time now. We don't even have to do any of those things. There are so many opportunities out here for people to make money. There are some. Listen, remember what I sent you recently? I just got paid to do 3 of those for somebody else.
Exactly. Now, but see, you have computer knowledge, and so your knowledge base of different kind of hustles are different than the person that may just work with their hands. But a person who works with their hands should never be broke.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Listen. You can cut some grass. I know people who cut grass and ain't got no lawnmower. I know people who trim hedges. Yo, real shit. I know people who trim hedges and they ain't got no hedge trimmers.
Listen, the guy who used to trim my hedges would borrow my dad's hedge trimmer to go and trim my hedges. And I thank you for using my dad's tool.
Hey. That made the job. You subtract the difference. You know, if he brought his own tools, then the price would be higher. But because he used yours, now you get this. You got your whole your lawn trimmed if you had one. You got your lawn cut and your hedges trimmed for a mere $25. That shit would have cost you $100 if he had his own tools. He ain't got them. All right, a win is a win.
And then my dad would get done for free because he's using his tools. So, but he still made some money. He still got out here and made some money. And you're correct. Because I remember as a young mom, I tried to get in those apartments and they told me no. And I came in, I just cried because I was like, well, damn, where are we supposed to live? However, in that same moment of tears, I said, well, we're going to work this out. And that's where I learned my own talent. So I sold gift baskets, dinners, I made jewelry, I made all the toiletries you could think of. We had custom balloon art stuff. wedding planning, just all kinds of stuff came out of that no. So there is, and I agree, when you're a woman, the opportunities are just a little different than for a man because women have a different kind of creativity. However, men can get out here and get it too, just like this brother who came and who trimmed my hedges. Men can get out here and get it too in a different way than women can. So, it's just no excuse anymore. It's just, I don't know, some people, I'm not saying everybody, because there are some people who seem physically that they're capable to do these things and they really are not. Like mentally, I wouldn't trust my kid to have anybody's hedge clippers, lawnmower, saw, anything, because I'm afraid of what he might do to somebody else, in all honesty, because he's so angry. But with that said, for these people out here just pretending and fucking around, fuck them people. And those are some of the same people who try to take advantage of us too, not just the government. For these people who lived in the building with me, it's two of y'all up here. You getting all the benefits, and then one day, hey, can we borrow a roll of toilet paper? What are you going to use it and give it back? Can we borrow some soap? I'm like, it's the only me in this house taking care of this kid, and it's two adults there getting all the benefits, and you're asking to borrow stuff from me? Are you fucking kidding me? Get the hell on.
Mm-hmm.
The hell on.
Okay. So when was the last time you were put in a position to have to prove yourself in some kind of way to somebody? And did you go hard with it, or did you were you light?
To prove myself, so in any kind of situation?
Well, the title of the show is how far you will go to prove it. So we're talking about anytime you've had to prove yourself and whether or not you went hard with it or just sort of, I ain't got to prove nothing to you, because it is your decision.
Recently with my cousin, and it wasn't even her, it's other members of the family who she told this bullshit lie to, tell, or whatever you want to call it, to, and they called me and said I owe her an apology, and she was crying so hard, and I should feel bad for her and have Cynthia imagine how she feels. And I said, fuck her feelings, because I didn't do a damn thing. And you guys can believe what you want to believe. And hey, life is what it is. Fuck you if you still rock. If you don't rock with me, we cool if you do. That's the end of it. I don't know anybody's shit. So I didn't go hard to prove nothing for that.
Now, why did you feel it not unnecessary, not to prove yourself in that situation?
Because no, she never asked me. She just told me. Mm-hmm. She told the world, then she told me. She never asked me, and even to this day, no one has really asked me. They just told me I did something. And because of that, I'm out on it. I don't have to prove a goddamn thing.
I could dig it.
Because if you know me, anybody who knows me knows if I do some shit, I'm going to tell you. Because fuck having secrets cause gray hair and wrinkles, and I have neither. So because of that, I don't fuck around with that. Plus, it's too much to remember a lot. And I can barely remember what I did 10 seconds ago. So I don't have time to try to remember lies. So if I did some shit, I'm going to say I did it. But no one has ever asked me. They just told me. So because of that, I'm out on proving a damn thing to anybody.
Okay. Have you ever been caught masturbating?
What a question! What? Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Did you? Wait a minute. Did you? Wait.
Want to switch this conversation?
No. This is significant. And
I'm blushing like everybody can see me. Damn.
Wait. So this is the thing is, did you admit it when you got caught, or did you say you was scratching? Oh, you did. All right. Now there are some people who many boys have gotten caught have been caught masturbating, and some owned up to it. Many have owned up to it,
You have to call.
and some said that they would. Some said that they were scratching. Now, depending on how long the person saw him do it. Wait. What I was saying was many boys have been caught masturbating. Many have owned up to it, but some of them said that they were scratching. You know what I mean? Like, you know, depending on how long the person was watching before they got caught, you know, it can depend on whether they told the truth or not.
But don't you usually get caught by your significant other? Like, I've always been caught by my significant other. So.
Oh no, young boys get caught. They get caught by their mom or their sisters or some shit like that.
No, I never been caught by somebody like that.
Oh, so you were older when you got caught.
Yeah.
Oh, you could have gotten trouble. You know what I mean? You was rubbing one out when he probably was like, "Hey, wait a minute, what the fuck is you doing?"
Oh my God.
Oh, this changes a lot. But anyway, I'm just saying. So people will go out of their way to prove a whole lot of things. Sometimes, well, let me just say that you can't always say what's important to somebody to portray an image or to clear their name or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's different with different people. I've seen people bend over backwards to prove they love to somebody who didn't give a fuck about them. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes in that saying, I guess I did that with the family. When it came to all the things that we're going through with this house, that we went through with this house and my grandmother's estate, I think I did that. I think that was more significant in this topic, as I went out of my way to try to prove these things to the family, only to have my feelings hurt, only to even to date as we speak, still just like deal with this panic that they have placed me in. Mm-hmm. And I did go overboard to try to prove, and it's like one day I just, you know what, I can't even say that. I was gonna say one day I just said fuck it, and I did. But I am back right now, still semi trying to prove to certain ones that this is not what you think it is. It's never been. But, you know. I still don't give a fuck. Like, there's still like, I'm not proving it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're your priorities are where they are. You know, so it might be worth it on this side where it wasn't worth it on the other side. You know, but that is something that you can decide. But not everybody gets to decide to for themselves what's important. Sometimes some things are important regardless of your personal feelings or even your financial situation or business matters or whatever. Some things have to be taken care of. For example, you know, well, like earlier when I gave the example about, you know, somebody calls CPS on you just to be vindictive, because I have known people who have done that. You know what I mean? So, you know, people being investigated by CPS, children taken out of the homes and shit, and it wasn't right. But those parents had to bend over backwards and show verification that they were good parents and that they were worthy of raising their children. Even though I'm sure in the back of their minds they were like, well, these are my fucking children. Why should I have to prove to the state or the county that I'm taking care of my children? I know my kids ain't telling them nothing bad about me. But you know what I mean? But nonetheless, you're in a situation where it's either sink or swim. You want your children back, this is what you're going to have to do. Other than that, not only will you not get your kids back, but then the county is going to be charging you with all kinds of shit. You know? Mm-hmm. So it's tough. The one them cow try.
What's going on, one them cow?
The one them cow try is on the line. What's going on? What a guan, Troy? What a guan?
You know, you had me at masturbating.
Don't you add nothing to it, it's over. Don't you do it.
Between that, the first one you had me, I was in tears with, right? Well, the grass without a fucking lawnmower.
I know people. I know people.
and that's what I said. No, he can't go any higher than that one.
All right, check this out, Troy. For the people I knew that cut grass and didn't have a lawnmower, they also gave me their calling card without a card. You figure it out. They gave me a card, their calling card, that wasn't their calling card. So in other words, it was another calling card. They wrote their shit on the back of the shit, but they did it to a whole stack of them motherfuckers. So they had a bunch of stack. Like, no, only on this, only. So only flip the yeah. So they crossed out the business that it was that the card actually went to, and wrote they shit on the back with a whole stack of them though. So they came across a stack of calling cards, and they just revised them. You can call it faking it. You can call it faking it till you make it. Yeah, I mean, I bet you was using that number. That number was getting used though. Anyway, North Philly, baby. Act like you know. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's a people thing, because I know some people here who do that, and I'm like, please don't do that.
I'm just saying. I say North Philly because Southwest wouldn't own up to no shit like that. They wouldn't own up to no shit like that. South Philly would, but Southwest they would act like. I'm like, get your bum ass fuck out of here.
We don't do that type stuff. Yo, man, that's so funny shit, boy. You know, you as soon as I heard what you asked, because y'all was just having a mature conversation. How's your day? Life is beautiful. Yeah, your kids is okay. Yeah, church. You went to church today? You never masturbated.
I mean, if you really think, no,
bring that up.
Wait a minute, wait. But if you really think about it, if you think about what she was talking about, she led up to she subliminally made me ask her the question.
Are you fucking kidding me? If you don't stop that line.
I mean, no. Listen, I don't want to listen. I don't want to put you on the spot. But if you go back and listen to the show, hold on. If you go back and listen to the show later on, you'll see like, yeah, I could see where son had no choice but to ask me that question, you know, being as though what I was talking to, like, so I basically cornered him and manipulated him into that position, and he had to ask the question. You know what I mean? And the people agreed.
You know what? I was listening to you, son. You absolutely correct. She did do that. She did do that.
I mean, you see it, right?
In between the cutting the grass without a lawnmower, I heard everything else she was saying. Subliminally, it went that way.
Like, I didn't see how I could ask another question without going there, because that allowed.
We were in the Street Fighter game, and I was Chun-Li, so I could go kick the shit out of both of you. Because what the hell?
You were talking about, like, why would I lie? How could I lie? I ain't gonna lie. And I was like, I just had to bring up a situation with somebody.
You wanted to see if you really was gonna lie.
Okay. All right, Troy, you ever been caught masturbating?
I can't do that.
I'm talking about when you was a young boy.
No, I never got caught as a young boy. No,
okay. So you got caught as an adult?
Never. I don't do it as an adult. I can't do it. My mind is not.
Oh, you don't turn yourself on. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
No, I can't.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait.
I can't turn my mind in a perverted way.
But what about porn? You used to watch porn.
Porn don't. I'm beneath porn, man. I'm beneath that. I need to.
Wait. So hold on, slow down, dog. You've said on this show that you used to go to the strip clubs. That's porn. That's porn in and of itself.
If I can find this show, this nigga's lying right now.
You know what I'm saying? Now, how far would he go to prove that he never...
Twerking is working.
Twerking is working? Well, before it was called twerking, it was just working, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what are they working on? What are they projects?
They were self-indulging themselves in their job at that time.
Now, Kim has worked as a phone sex operator. So, you know, she know about, you know what I mean, dudes popping off on the phone. So,
and I can, first of all, I got these damn rough ass hands. You seen my hands.
Okay.
These rough ass hands. I don't want to give myself an Indian burn, man. I'll take the skin off my shit. Now you understand, son?
You know, Troy.
There's not enough baby oil or lubricant that can.
Yo, my man. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. My man got some alligator hands and shit. You could cut like the back of his hands. I can't speak on his palms, but the back of Troy hands, yo, it's something to behold. Like that shit is not. You could definitely make a pair of shoes out of his hands. That shit is. You know what I mean? That's that good crop.
Shit, I'm an X-Man.
That's that good crop. But all right. So
just understand that as rough as my fucking hands is, man. There's no amount of lubricant, Aquaphor, baby oil, any lotions or any type of cream.
He not lying.
Astroglide.
He not lying. He is not lying. He is not lying. I've never seen hands like that before. He's not lying. He's not lying.
So now you can understand why I cannot.
But that's the back of your hands. That's the back of your hands.
The back of my but the inside of my hands is rough, man. They're you know, shit. Like I told you, I used to punch walls. I used to punch a lot of fucking.
You ain't punching with your palm. You ain't punching with your palm. You ain't punching with your palm.
I'm trying to tell you, son, man. I'm trying to tell you, bro. That shit
masturbate is wild work.
No,
well, see, check this out. Check this out, Ken. I'm glad. Hold on. Wait. Let me.
As a kid, I fondled myself, but
you didn't say that. You didn't say it. You beat all around the book. I mean, all around the bush.
As an adult, I can't do it.
Okay, so wait a minute. So as a kid, did you ever get caught fondling yourself?
No.
Okay, you never got caught. Okay, cool. All right.
As an adult, I can't do it. I've never been able to do it.
All right, I wasn't. Listen, Kim is the one who got caught as an adult. I wasn't even thinking about that.
She's a professional at it. The way she broke it down, I got caught by my significant other, and I never got caught. She knew how to hide from people.
That was first of all. All right. So check it out.
She even locked the door. She just let her significant other walk in on her. Oh, let's go ahead and get your shoes. I'm just gonna finish up. You know.
All right. So hold on. Check this out. The reason why I asked that question is just like you said, asking people if they ever got caught masturbating is wild work. The thing is, most people have been caught. Why? I ain't gonna say most, but so many have. You know what I mean? So you know how many people are lying when they say they haven't. Because you know what I mean? Most people have been caught. Most people have been. I know.
Have you been caught?
Okay, so I never actually. Hold on. It was a. Hold on. Chill. No. Because that's not how it happened. Now the picture it. 1987. You know what I mean? 1987.
The bridge.
1987. So I actually had crabs and I was looking for the joints. I was scratching my ass off and my sister busted in the room and she caught me scratching and she thought I was jerking off. She don't know. You know what I mean? I was on my way to the drugstore. because it was the 80s and we caught things like crabs back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't. I don't like you saying
well, maybe not you, but evidently, you know what I mean? In my social circle, it was a regular thing. You know what I mean? I almost didn't even have to go to the drugstore for like, oh, damn, you got don't worry about it. Just make sure you take care of it and wash them sheets and all that shit. So anyway, I never got caught masturbating. But I don't think my sister believed that I was just scratching. Because hold on, because I wasn't going to tell her that I had crabs. So it was like this. Okay, which one you gonna own up to? The crabs or the motherfucking? Like, I guess look, I can live down this little jerking off thing. You know what I mean? But the crabs was my secret. Only me and my brother knew about that shit because he told me exactly what to do.
So you're not gonna tell your sister who has to use the same bathroom you use?
No, she didn't use the same bathroom. She didn't use. First of all, I wasn't infested. That's number one because I got it done real quick. And second of all, all of that I got crabs on the toilet seat. That shit is a fucking lie. You do not get crabs that way. You know what I mean? You don't get chlamydia by sitting in the hot tub. None of that old bullshit. None of that old bullshit that people be lying about how they contracted certain things. I was little. I mean, not little. I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Them chicks I was messing around with, they look clean, but they was dirty. They look clean, but they was dirty. They didn't smell, but they was dirty. Yeah, I mean, who knew? You know what I mean? It was like a rite of passage. Everybody I knew, male and female, had got that shit at one time or another. Maybe it was a Germantown thing. I don't know.
Y'all was just all fucking each other in the same
We wasn't. I never had sex with no chicks, especially as a teenager, of anybody else I knew. Like I never knew. Yes, sir, it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, they looked clean, but they was dirty. But we talked about almost 40 years ago. I had to live and I had to learn. You know what I mean? Now, I have known some people who got crabs as an adult. I can't speak on them because how do you explain that dirt after age 19? I don't know. But I was relieved that at 17, I was one and done. But anyway, so that's what happened. So no, I never got caught masturbating. But, now did I go over and above to prove to her that I that I wasn't that I was masturbating instead of the crab? No, I let that sleeping dog lie. Like, hey, you caught me, you got me. You know what I'm saying? But it was what it was. Shout out to my brother Ahmed. He helped me through that situation because he was like, oh, you know what I mean? Yo, you might have crabs. I was like, the fuck out of here. Like, I don't goddamn crabs and shit. I'm clean. He was like, yeah, you clean, but you never know. And you don't have to be out there. You know what I mean? You just mess around with one chick and blah, blah, blah. I was like, shit. So when he told me that, it stuck in my mind. So, I wasn't sleeping that night. So, you know what I mean? So I was checking myself very fast. Yeah, and I got caught. P. Diddy in the comments says, you definitely got crabs, nigga. I do not. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? I do not. She found crabs emoji. Hey, man, look, man. You know what? You know what I mean? Yeah, look. I thought this was a safe space. And you see how motherfuckers do me on this shit.
This ain't no fucking safe space.
I thought it was a safe. I thought it was a safe space, but I see now. I have to keep all my childhood adventures to myself. You know what I'm saying? My mishaps. From now on, I'm not telling nobody nothing about nothing.
Do it, Carlin, do it, yes.
Oh my God. Oh shit. Fuck it. It was 1987, baby. It was 1987. So what can I do? 38 years. 38 years. I ain't sleep that night. I got up early as fuck, went to that drugstore. Like, yo. I was waiting. I'm the only motherfuckers waiting outside the drugstore for that shit to open. Yeah, I was waiting. I was waiting in line like the new Star Wars movie was about to be released. I'm here first.
Before everybody else get in.
I'm here first. It didn't want to tell them what was wrong. Like, yo, I need I need the thing for lice. I'm black.
I'm like, what you say?
Yeah, look, you know black people don't get no damn hair, no damn lice.
What you say? Say it again.
Black people don't get lice, but they sure get crab lice. You know what I'm saying?
Can you go give me some crab medicine for this young man here?
Man, listen, shit was crazy. Yeah, I mean, buying condoms back in the day, you ain't want to tell. You know what I'm saying? You know, after a while, you be like, yeah, I need a pack of condoms. Give me the magnums over there, dude. The one, no, give me the rib. The rib. I don't, not those. You know what I'm saying? But as a teenager, like, I need some prophylactic devices. So what, nigga? Prophylactic devices. Trojans, lifestyles, Ramses, you know, prophylactic devices. Because it was bad enough they had them locked. They had them locked in a little glass cage and shit, so you couldn't get them yourself. You'd have thought with that being the AIDS era, they would have made things a little bit more seamless, but no. Oh my God, Carla talking about something. Instead of grabbing you, she was. Oh my fucking God. Right. See, Kim, and you all of this led up to because of who? Because of who?
No. You would not put this shit on me. This is you. Oh, you.
It wasn't. Yeah, I've been manipulated again, and I feel some kind of way about it. But you know, I'm gonna let it go for now. I'm gonna brood about it later, but I'm gonna let it go for now. All right. Now this whole thing, prove how far you'll go to prove something. You know, so Tori, what did you say the last thing that you did in order to prove that to prove yourself to something or to prove prove? Damn, Troy gone. What the fuck? Troy go bye-bye.
Because we didn't hear him.
Troy go bye-bye. Troy go bye-bye. I think so I do myself. What was the last time that I went to great lengths to prove something to somebody? Let's see. The last job I got. Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. On my last job, I was in a little bit. I was embroiled in this war with another manager of operations, and he had the union on his side, and they was trying to defame the shit out of me. They was trying to make me look really bad, like I wasn't doing my job or like I didn't know my job. And yeah, I had to do a lot of things to let them know, like, yo, first of all, I'm not the one to fuck with. And second of all, I would have never got this job if I wasn't qualified for it, and I wouldn't still be here because it was the pandemic. So the pandemic, they was letting people go left and right. So if I was still there, how could I still be there if I wasn't qualified to be there? You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, my pride wouldn't let me prove it to them. So I was proving it more to them and to myself and whoever was witnessing this thing, that first of all, I'm not gonna let y'all get to me, even though y'all getting to me, but y'all not gonna get to me to the point where I shut down or where I stop trying or where I let y'all declare yourselves the winner. You know what I mean? So in the end, I gotta do this thing. Oh, plus I was proving that I could leave that job on my own accord. I wasn't going to get fired and I wasn't going to let nobody make me quit. And I did do that. I went over and above to let them know, like, nah, I got this. Y'all, to me, y'all all are weak, corny, and nowhere near my level. And that's how I felt about them. And that's how I still feel about them. So, yeah. But I had to make sure that I was on point in order to get that done. One thing that I've never really had to do that I've seen other people do, and I don't necessarily lack respect of this thing, is I've never had a woman make me prove my love to her. I've never had to I've never had to go out of my way to show that I had strong feelings for somebody. It was never a situation like, well, if you don't do this, then that means this, and that means we can't be together. I've never been in that kind of situation. Now, I can't necessarily explain why, other than I've done without before and I'll do without again. But I don't think that that's really the best mentality for everything. Just because you can make it without something doesn't mean that you should all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, at this age and at this maturity level, I don't believe in embracing any new struggles. I'm still trying to acclimate myself in the pre-existing struggles and work through them to the point where I can master them. But I'm not going to show you that I can live without you just because I can. If I don't feel like you are worthy of me being with you, then I shouldn't get with you. I wouldn't have ever gotten with you in the first place. So if I'm here, that means I want to be here. And if I'm not there, then, we'll handle that situation in a different way. But I don't know how I would react in a situation where it was like, if you don't do this, then you can't have this. I mean, I could see if it was a situation where I didn't like to work, or I didn't have my own shit, or I wasn't really trying to be worthy of anything, or trying to do anything. But that's never really been my shtick.
I definitely agree with you with that. I don't think it just because you can do it without doesn't mean you should. Like, I can manage all this by myself, and I have been for a long time, but God, it would be great to have a mate to do it with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would make life so much easier, and I could probably get some sleep for a change and get a routine that makes sense. I don't think I agree with you on that. Like, I could do this shit by myself, but God, I'd rather have a partner doing it.
So are we saying the same thing? Because that's what I said.
That's what I said. I agree with you.
Oh, I thought you said I disagree with you on that. My bad.
I said I agree with you because I feel that all the time. Like, yes, I can do this by myself, apparently, but I don't want to.
Well, the thing is, over the years, I've let my pride get in the way so many times. You know what I mean? At some point, you got to stop doing that. You know what I mean? Or determine whether something is worth it or it's not. But you shouldn't wait farther down the line to know if you want to be with somebody or if something is important to you. You know what I mean? You should. What's the use in having wisdom, knowledge, and maturity if you don't use it for shit? You know what I mean? If all of that shit can be cut out at the drop of a hat or in a blink of an eye, what's the use in building anything? If you're willing to just tear everything down, because tearing down something goes a lot faster than building. So what's the use? What's the use in taking years of physical and emotional work to build something if you're willing to just treat the shit like Jenga and have the shit fall down by just pulling out one piece? What's the point?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's been a lesson that I've had to learn and that I still work on, because and if I don't like somebody, I don't like them. You know what I mean? And I'm not even just talking about in a romantic situation. It's like, shit. I've had to work on that with friendship and a whole lot of stuff, But yeah.
Gotta grow, man.
So
I'm trying to grow into that. So maybe this year I'll mature a little more into that.
Hey,
I'm like that. If I don't like somebody, I don't like you. I just don't like you.
Yeah, you don't.
No discussion here.
And I've seen people bend over backwards trying to prove to somebody that they didn't really like that they really did like them. I'm like, well, listen, the motivation of people will have you scratching your head until your scalp bleeds. Because you're like, well, if you don't really fuck with this person, why are you fucking with this person? Well, I'm saying, they good people and all of that. What you mean? Just because somebody is good people don't mean that they good for you. Like, what do you even mean by good people? So, all right, so they don't lie, they don't steal, they don't blah, 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 but they get on your fucking nerves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so they didn't lie to you, they didn't steal from you, whatever, but that doesn't mean that you can't keep them at arm's length. Y'all not a good fit. And that person might be making you into a worse person, because here you are faking the funk with for somebody that you ain't even into like that. What we doing? What up, Stacy? What's good? And my brother Ansel Jones is in the house. What's going on, my brother Ansel Jones? So yeah, I mean, I'm
going to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we go out of our way to prove more when it comes to work than other aspects of our lives? Or do you think we go out our way a little more to prove it work? Like if someone is accusing you of something at work, you're like, no, I didn't do this or whatever. You go up a little bit, you go harder at trying to prove your stance at work than you would do outside of work. And do you think it's because, like, that's our survival? That's how we take care of business, But do you think it's more, we do it more for work and everything else is like, listen, you know my character, you know if this is really me or not?
Mm-hmm. I think we pick and choose. Like, there have been personal situations that I have gone out of my way to prove that, okay, like, for example, when my dad was alive and when we had a business together, my dad didn't realize that I would never screw my family over. He didn't really realize that. You know what I mean? Because his value for money was different than my value for money. So a lot of times when people will do whatever for money or for recognition or for sex or whatever, they think that you would do the same thing. So long story short, he used to be a little nervous when I used to go collect the rent when I was younger, 20, 24, 23, 24, 25 years old. And I think it was because he knew he wasn't really paying me a lot at the time. So he figured, why wouldn't you break off a little something when he knew I was putting in the work? But he didn't really realize, like, no, I'm gonna give you all the money. Yeah, you may not be paying me the way that maybe another company might pay me, but you're a small business and you're a family business. So why would stealing from you would be stealing from me? You know what I mean? And I could easily rationalize that, well, if I'm stealing from myself, then I'm not really stealing at all. And I'm even putting money back into the business by stealing it. No, that don't make no sense. So I without having to break my back, it was important for him to know. It was important to me for him to know that I was loyal. Like I would never steal your money. I would never betray you or this family. Because if I'm taking money from you, I'm taking food, education, clothing, housing out of my brothers and sisters' mouth. That's not acceptable to me. It's not gonna happen. Just so what? So I can get some rims on a car? You know what I mean? Some fog lights, some tint, another chain? Nah, we're not doing that. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So I didn't have to do a whole lot. I just had to stay consistent. And he came back to me years later. He was like, he said, Omar, one thing about you is I've never had to worry about my money when dealing with you. He said, a lot of people, he said the hardest thing in business is to have somebody make your money, collect your money, and return your money. Or should I say deliver your money? He said, you do all three. And I never have had to worry about it. Which let me know he was checking. He was making sure that the money was right. He was making sure that he for all I know, he might have called ahead to some of the tenants to see what they had paid. You know what I mean? To make sure that the receipts was right. You know what I mean? I don't know if he did that, but it's possible. You know what I mean? So he knew for a fact that I wasn't fucking him over in any kind of way. And I don't even know if he would have been mad if he found out that I was.
How did you feel when he said that to you? Did you feel pride, or did you feel like, well, dang, Daddy, why did you think I would do this anyway?
I looked at it like the way I was saying. I looked at it like he probably wouldn't have done what I did, so he's surprised that I did what I did. Okay. My dad looked up to me in a way. He even told me that. He told me, I really look up to you. He says sometimes when I'm in certain situations, I ask myself, what would Omar do in this situation? Because he knew that I had a certain level of self-control. Now, I ain't all that, you know what I mean? But in comparison to him in some situations where he knew that he would have been a little bit weaker, he considered me to be stronger. So you know how that go, you know what I mean? So I didn't feel I was surprised though. I was surprised that he was surprised that I wouldn't do that. But it opened my eyes because you never know how somebody is looking at you. But one thing he always told me was that the camera is always on you. So watch the way that you conduct yourself. Mm-hmm. He was like, not saying that you can't do what you want to do, but just remember, people are always going to talk about you. It's up to you to determine whether what they're saying about you is true or false. I couldn't argue with that. He was right. He dropped that jewel, and it's one that I live by to this day because I've had to live it. People have always spread rumors about me and all kinds of crazy shit. I'm like to the point that before I might have, you know what I mean? I might have got out of pocket, might have got angry, might have had to fight, might whatever. And now I'm like, oh yeah. I'm at the point in my life now where I know what the fuck I like and I know what I do. Now, if you can prove to anybody that you've seen me, heard me, or whatever, do what you say I've done, then you have created AI. Because I know where I've been and I know what the fuck I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did this show a few years ago who who would erase your hard drive for you? Like, you know how like when you die, you know, or if you commit a crime or when you pass away or whatever, they check, you know, what I mean, they check your phone, your computer devices and shit to see what you did to get a profile of you. This the music that he liked. These are the websites that he went on or she went on or whatever. So they figured that this is who you are. They figure those personal computer devices are who you are, and they're right. They're right. If you could get somebody's phone and really go through their phone, besides just checking their text messages and their phone logs, if you really see what their interests are, you know what I mean? What groups are they involved in? What apps did they download? Which ones do they use? What are they interested in? What do they Google? I don't worry about none of that shit. If I die today, you're gonna see pretty much what y'all get here. You know what I mean? Like you ain't gonna see no gay shit. You ain't gonna see no pedophilia shit. You ain't gonna see no interracial relationship shit. You ain't gonna see none of that shit. It's not there. It's just not fucking there. And when I started thinking about that years ago, it freed me. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Damn. That's who I really am. So why should I be concerned about what anybody else thinks I am, you know, and really, really going out of my way to try to prove myself to them when they not moving the needle at all? And the proof is in the pudding. Even in my absence, you would see what you saw, and I don't have anything to be ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never raped nobody. I ain't never make nobody do. I ain't never steal from my friends or fuck fuck my man's wife or his girl, or go behind his back and try to do some old grind. That's not me. It's really not me. But when we talk about going out of your way to prove something, just like the Donald Trump example, he goes out of his way to try to prove a lie. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, if you are omitting
the truth,
yeah. Now telling a lie is one thing, but going out of your way to prove that your lie is the truth, that's a character issue right there. That's the real shit. That's what people need to know about you. Because if I will go out of my way to try to lie to you about some shit that I've done, or let's say I ain't in the right, but I feel like I am. In other words, I'm culpable. I'm a little guilty. I did it. I was there. I witnessed it. I heard it. I know what happened. But I don't feel like I should be blamed. Motherfuckers will go out of their way to prove that too. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I did it, but you ain't see me. So what we gonna do?
That's what he's doing now. He was there, but he wants to prove he didn't have no ties to that weirdo. So, but he was there. I was there. Mm-hmm. And now he's trying to say he wasn't there. At one time he was there. Now he's like he was a ghost and he didn't exist and it was an AI.
It's all a hoax. It's all a hoax. It's all a hoax.
Yeah. So and that's a character flaw. That just definitely is. Now that's my biggest thing right there. When you attack my character, that's all the lies in the world on me don't mean shit because I don't have some shit to lie. But and again, I say who's gonna be my ass? Nobody. So the other side of that is if you assault my character, like my parenting, we have a problem. Cause that I'm gonna go to hell for. Me being a liar or a thief, I'm gonna go to hell for those things. We're gonna battle over that. And I am extensively gonna prove to you wrong because I'm gonna bring all the receipts in the world. All this shit, rumors and all that, I don't care nothing about that. And even with work, I pride myself on my work. So if you question my capability to provide the service that you are paying me for, that's another one. Let's go to battle over that. Now, there's a sliver in there. Because if you ain't paying me nothing, and I didn't like you as a client, I don't give a damn how you feel for real. Because I opt out on using you as a review. So that I don't care about. But for somebody who I really, especially I'm giving time to, then we may have a problem. Like, I currently lost a client. Well, I don't say lost a client. They changed the dynamics of where they want to take their business, and it was good for both of us. But I waited to see what kind of review they gave. And if they had given a bad one, we were going to have a problem. But they didn't. They gave a stellar one at that. But had they said anything negative, then we probably would have I would have gone to the gates of hell to prove different. I believe with that. So.
Yeah, the integrity thing is it's a big deal, especially with people. It's not always about, should I say, about how it affects your bottom line. There's certain people that you want to make sure. There's certain people that are just important to you for you to know that, you know what I mean, that you 100%. You know what I mean? Like in a war, I'm going to war with you. I'm on your side. And we're going to fight these battles. You know what I'm saying? So however it go is the way it's going to go. But you can best believe I'll be fighting alongside you, not against you. So when the enemy tries to come up and tries to say that I'm working against you, or that, you know what I mean, I'm a turncoat or a traitor, or I'm playing both sides of the fence, I need you to know that no, we don't do that. We don't do that shit. Troy ain't on the line right now, but Troy we've been in certain situations, even when we didn't know each other that well, but he knows, like, look, you riding in my car, that means we ride together, regardless of how long we've known each other. If I pick you up, or if I'm giving you a ride, then we riding. Whatever happens outside of that is what it is. But to me, it means something, because this is my personal property, and it's the way that I get to and from places, and I only go to and from places that I need to be at. So if you're with me, then that means that it's a team thing. I'm now. You understand what I mean? So yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up in that way. So let me say this real quick, because I've been thinking about it for a few weeks now. I just want to say to everybody, thank you. Because when you say that, I'm like, this is a family here, team here. Because to this day, I don't know what Garado Legend said that day when I was having my moment. And no one would tell me. But everybody was just like, it's been handled, and know that he'll never say it again. And everybody did everything to move it out, so I never know or never see it. And I appreciate that a lot. And when you say what you say, like, even if I don't know you, if we together, that's what that feels like to me, or what it felt like to me. That this was a unit, and together everybody's like, listen, we are not going to let this man make shit worse for her. So thank you, everybody. That's it.
Yeah. You don't have to. One thing I've learned about this whole internet thing is you don't have to know somebody face to face to feel like you know enough about them to give them some grace or a certain layer of protection. You know what I'm saying? Or defense. Let's call it that. Because they were defending you. They weren't necessarily protecting you. I consider protection to be a proactive thing, but they were definitely in defense of you. You know what I mean? Which is a good thing. So yeah. And honestly, I expected that to happen, because what you were telling the shit that you was talking about, pardon my French on that, but what you were talking about is something that most adults have been through. It's real shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When you talking about the family matters surrounding a death and all of that shit, you know how much nasty, murky, disgusting, out of pocket, unorthodox and unethical shit happens around surrounding a death or a sickness. Come on, man. You know what I mean? It gets bad. And that's why so many people separate during that time. So people wasn't trying to hear that shit. They wasn't trying to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? You pouring your heart out and shit and going through a real emotional thing and sharing, and somebody is shitting on you. So I expected that to happen, and I'm glad it did. So it's time for us to go.
Works for me. I need a nap.
All right.
I'm struggling to complete for the whole weekend, so.
All right. Well, I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much for calling in. Hopefully you don't get caught doing that thing again.
I hate you so bad right now. Peace, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.
All righty.
Stay safe.
All right.
Goodbye, son.
All right, peace. She's such a good sport. You know what I mean? She's such a good sport. When she was 50, 53, you know, she was a little uptight. But now she became 54, you know what I mean? Yeah. You should have seen that 48. Sheesh. But anyway, let's look at the results of the poll. We got 20 votes on the poll. Is it important for you to know that you are telling? Is it important for you to know that you are telling? Oh, God, I wrote that all wrong. No wonder it only got 20 votes. It was supposed to say, is it important for you to know that people know that you're telling the truth about something? Some shit like that. Anyway, 15% says, with some people, yes, others no. 60% says, yes, integrity is important to me. 0% says, I only care about people who I love. And 25% said, people can think what they want. Yeah, I definitely goofed that up. I goofed that up. Joyce say, you're from North Philly, bro. Listen, man. Listen, Carla is from South Philly. Troy is from South Philly. I'm from South Philly too. Ask me a South Philly area that just ask me. I know the streets. I know everything. I'm from South Philly. I spent nights in South Philly. I'm from South Philly. Everybody knows. You know what I mean? They used to call me Omar from South Philly. 10th and Wolf. Over there with the white people, not y'all niggas. I'm not from where y'all black people are on the other side. You know what I mean? I'm from across the tracks on the other side. Yeah, I'm getting closer to the water. Y'all on that west side side of South Philly. You know what I mean? St. Charles skating rink and all of that. I wouldn't be caught dead over there with y'all. Dead. More or less alive. You know what I mean? I'm from the good part of South Philly with nice, clean Italians, you know, killing and maiming each other and going to Catholic school. I went to St. John Newman. I went to St. John Newman. Yeah, I did. I went there. Okay, anyway. Simon says, is Kensington South Philly? No, it ain't North Philly either. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get up a petition for that to not be Philly. I would rather bring Camden in and get Kensington out. You know what I mean? Look, give Jersey, give us Camden and Pennsauken, and you can have Kensington and Frankfurt. Deal? Huh? I would take Camden over Kensington. Give me Camden. Not too many people will take Camden. I'll take Camden over Kensington. Camden, that's gonna be my status for the day. Camden over Kensington. Anything but Kensington, please. I'm tired of people who only know about Philly through Kensington. You know what I mean? All that lean and poverty and homelessness. I ride through that shit every night coming from work. In the wintertime, they be having bonfires on the fucking sidewalk. It's so bad that you feel sorry for them, and then again you don't. Because those people that you see leaning and nodding and all of that shit off of their fentanyl and all that heroin, they not from Philly. I don't know one person, real shit, I don't know one person who ever told me that they family strung out down Kensington. There's them cats coming from out the county and from over Jersey. They come here to become lifelong drug addicts. Real shit. I don't know nobody. I mean, many people I know in this city. I don't know nobody who ever told me like, yeah, my sister, she fucked up in the game. She down there in Kensington. I'm so worried. Nobody. No brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, moms, dads, grandparents. I don't know nobody that got family stuck down in Kensington. They all from out the county and over in Jersey. And I can prove it. I'll go over and above to prove it. How far will I go to prove it? I will go all the way. Tell you what, I will go all the way to G in Allegheny to prove it. All right. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious August 10th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Heaven Love, and also Tina Williams, my girl Star Poindexter, and Pamela Bridges, and Karima Parks, Rosario Reyes, Eloisa, and Albertine Bobo, and Andres Perez, and Christy Robinson, Tamara Smith, Shalishala Lee, my man, go-getter Michael Real Life Dennis, Marie Hightower China, that's my Penn State buddy, and my young cuz Paul J. Brown, Brown, and last but not least, my old classmate, all the way back in the day, my girl Jackie Braxton Young. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious August 10th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, it's probably easier to tell the truth, but sometimes people want a little bit more proof. And what are you going to do to make sure that they understand and believe you? Some people might feel like you need to break your back, bend over backwards, and grab your sack. No, I ain't going to do none of that. But if I feel like you important, then I'm sporting a brand new way of proving it to y'all. And I'm make sure that I still stand tall. I ain't got to prove myself to everybody, but you got to know that I'm real and I'm going to show you, Hottie. I would never try to use you, never put my hands on you to abuse you. But I need to make sure that you understand what I'm here for. And I'm going for more. I'm going for broke. Make sure that you never treat me like I'm a joke. Rakim said that he ain't no joke, and I'm the same motherfucking way. And letting you know today, I stay in a very good place. I'm talking about up in my mental. Don't have to punch you, knock out your dental. We don't wear fronts in this city where I come from. But I ain't saying this just because you're from the South, you're dumb. I'm just saying that y'all look different values, but now you understand how you conduct yourself, with the way that you look and present yourself. My health is wealth, and I keep it all up, and I fall down sometimes, but I still say rhymes. Crimes is not something that I indulge. Eat a little bit, got the battle of the bulge. Yo, please explain. Yo, please excuse my candor, cause I was there and I remember when I was young and I was dealing with motherfuckers that was strung. And I knew that one day the time would come when they was gonna steal something from me cause I ain't dumb. Put the padlock on the room so my uncle couldn't steal my chains, and soon my auntie moved in, and that's when I knew that it was time to get out because it was begin the trouble. The trouble's at my door. Yo, 1984, for sure. Shit was crazy, life was rough, and I was going through a whole life shit because it was tough. But I still held on, and I was blessed from the day I was born. I was a smiling baby, I'm a smiling man, and I'm gonna make sure I got some more shit to smile and I'm gonna try to bless you too, and we gonna still make it together. Bless you. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. You know, Monday going into Tuesday at 2:00, and y'all gonna make sure that you come through and rock. Appreciate everything that you gave and still got. Y'all know the time, y'all know the hour, y'all know the power. Power is something that we all possess, but sometimes we feel diminished because we ain't displaying that mess. And it's just a test, and you gonna make it through. You gonna pass that shit flying colors. I believe in you. And if you believe in me, then we got a bond. So, yo, get your shit together, kid. Come on. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, Monday going into Tuesday, 2 a.m. So make sure y'all come on through. Thank you, Kim, for calling in. Thank you, Troy. I appreciate you. Thanks all y'all in the chat and all y'all behind the scenes. I hope y'all enjoy listening to the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it. I want y'all to have a wonderful day. No exceptions to that rule. And I'm holla back. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Peace.